elimination in a three-way tiebreaker between themselves, LGD, and Misery's very own Mouse Sports. They, of course, famously went on to make it through that tiebreaker, make it through the bubble bracket of TI, and managed to win the entire thing. Now, I know elimination is the focus here, but I do want to, look at the silver lining. There is a potential to turn things around. One of these teams is going to be saying goodbye, but one of these teams has an opportunity at redemption.
So if I heard you correctly, what you're saying is these teams should start deathballing right now, because that is what got Newbie to that championship. They need to start picking Shadow Shaman, Furion, running down the lanes with Lone Druid, just ore it up, right? Go all in. Unfortunately,
they certainly did not draft that way.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a C team do
There's
that.
There's a Pugna.
That's true. They could start pushing with the Pugna, but
yeah,
I think this is going to be a long game. I expect it to be a long game-driven series. Because, Austin, we are back in CDPC.
Oh, we're back, baby. It's good to be home.
It's the Dota Classic. You fly a couple thousand miles to play the team that you've been playing all year and go, why did we even leave our home region? We could have done this at home, guys. But instead, you got to do it at TI with everything on the line, your season on the line. That is a much different situation with a lot higher stakes. So you might have some familiarity here, but it kind of all goes out the window when you're trying to develop a TI meta and pull yourself out from, well, the hole you dug yourself into here.
And they are in quite the hole. The thing is that it started so promising in day one. Both the C teams were having close matchups against their European opponents. Both, due to seeding, were matchups that should have been shut and closed from the beginning, but they actually made things very interesting. Unfortunately, neither one came out the winner, and as a result, they are now in this 0-3 situation. Draft-wise, though, Avery, you break this down for me? Because I was busy looking at the history of TI. I was doing a little travel down memory road.
If I look at these two teams, the way I'm going to break it down is both of them have very distinct playmakers, and I'm going to simplify it even more. I'm going to say look towards the 2 and the 4 position from both teams. Look towards this mid lane between Mac and Armel. Both these guys can be very aggressive. They can also carry a game. There's a lot of weight on their shoulders in these drafts, particularly if you look at who's initiating a lot of these games. And that's why I also point out the 4s. I'm looking towards Tim's from the side of Boom, and I am looking towards this Morta for Jing. These 4 players are going to be the guys that are dictating how the damage gets put out in the fights. And outside of jabs, there's really no one who starts fights in this game. That's my big concern for Nemesis across the board. Like, how do they start engagements? How do they dictate when and where the fight happens? Who's jumping in? Is it all in the Doom? Are you just getting Aegis for the Ursa and he's going ham? There's a lot that can go wrong in the meantime. Whereas Boom, they have 3 of the best initiators in this game between the Void Spirit, the Axe, and the Tiny if he gets an early blink. So I am looking towards the 2 and 4s to pick up a lot of this in this series. And of course, Jabs is always a wild card. I mean, he's going to be the most veteran player in this series. He's going to be the strongest voice. This is a guy you have to look to for confidence here. Follow him to victory or follow him home, but you got to follow him either way.
It's true. And he's going to be starting things off strong with the 4 rings of protection, starting build on Axe to be able to get the maximum damage out of this Battle Hunger and make Eris's life a living hell, which is what he's currently doing. Tiny already doing the dragging shenanigans. Double melee matchup against Ursa. There's really only one way out of this. And fortunately for Boom, they are matched up against a 5 position that is not very good at stopping this. You do not have a disable to stop that 4 position from running behind your tower, grabbing the creep wave, and taking it for a ride.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, Axe is... It's going to have a fun time down here outside of the Ursa matchup. They're pulling the wave. Should guarantee him some extra CS here. He'll split it across to Tim's. The downside of this lane for Jabs is you have a very greedy 4 who's going to take some CS and XP out of this lane. Maybe you roam a little, but this Tiny is going to want a lot in this game. If the Tiny gets online, we saw how much Jin Q did with this hero earlier in the tournament, just brought an entire lineup together. This hero always comes back at TI for a reason. Displacement spells are broken. His kit is always good. Jerax abused it to win 2 rings, but I'm not going to go into that.
Avery met that Tiny somewhere in the lower bracket.
I mean, this hero's just a TI menace. And easy initiators, easy way to start fights. It goes a long way when people start to clam up, especially when elimination's on the line. Akashi feeling the pain right now As Tim just lays down the law with the combo into the Battle Hunger, man, that is painful.
That Battle Hunger, he really needs to get that last hit. He doesn't get it. He's just gonna get run down underneath the tower now.
He's gonna
toss up in a second. Tim's gonna be slowed down. They lost sight of Akashi. Jabs is not able to get the Battle Hunger, but where do you even go from here?
Yeah, it's just worse than death. Missing so much CS. He's gonna die anyway.
Avalanche to stop him. He needs to get the last hit, but the toss is gonna come through, and that is gonna be your first blood. Tim's picks it up.
That's a brutal sequence for the Ursa. You end up dying anyway, and you miss all the CS under the tower. Not a fast start here.
Oh, yeah. Getting the grab on the next creep wave, so the next one dies under tower. The Ursa's going to miss some of that. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, and Eris didn't get to hold this outside that equilibrium, so you kind of just pull it up, try and meet something here, but this is going to be a strong start for this dual melee off lane. Exactly what you want. Meanwhile, your Dusa, free farming up top. No pressure going into Jackie up here. He's chilling.
Yeah, he's having a good time, as he probably will the entire of the laning phase anyway. Mid matchup, Leshrac versus Void Spirit. Void Spirit usually has an advantage when it comes to CS in these last hits, but Akashi will run it right back at Jabs, apparently. And yeah, a little bit of lag, we felt that.
Of course, it's the CEO who goes down to the lag, you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about we're getting lag during a C match.
That too, yeah.
It's kind of the norm.
This is just CDPC 4 years later, man. It's really take me back. I mean, we were down there.
All we need is like a one solid 15-minute pause somewhere in the middle of this series, and
well, you know, they said they wanted it to feel like a C pub. They wanted the players to feel comfortable in an elimination match. So I think the coaches agreed to throw some lag in there. So it just felt more like a true C pub. You know, you got to have those 20-minute pauses.
And I guess the only thing to really make it a truly, at least historic, Southeast Asian matchup would be to just be running at each other nonstop, which is what Armal said he wanted to do, how they wanted to be able to play at this TI. Do you feel like they accomplished that so far? Did they run themselves into this 0-3 in the first place?
Not really.
No.
Though I don't think this meta has really slowed down. The game lengths are really long. The Chinese teams are doing well. Generally a sign that the meta is a slower meta. It's just not a lane dominance run people over meta. I mean, maybe Gaiman not being here affects that a little. I don't know. But either way, probably not the best meta for C, because it doesn't feel too chaotic in a weird way. It just feels like very late games, but that is also one of their strengths.
Yeah.
Is going
70-minute games. Yeah. We should have charged by the hour. Casting CT.
That's
really
very true. They are used to going the distance.
I wonder if Valve would be okay with us changing our rates for this.
I doubt it. Strong start here, though, for Boom. This is exactly what they want with this lineup. Your Initiator's having a good time early, get those fast Blink Daggers online, and the Medusa free farming against this Ursa matchup. If the Medusa's ahead, nothing's going to touch him in this game. Like, Scotty Butterfly Medusa in this game is just an absolute beast. You're doing nothing in that situation. And if he ever gets that second, third item with an Aegis on top, almost a death sentence for this Nemesis lineup. So they need to have a fast enough game to avoid that condition happening.
And well, he just commits for it. Blood Grenade out, but it's not enough for the damage unless Jing... Okay, he did not kill himself by throwing his own Blood Grenade out there. Thought for a second he might have just condemned himself to die, but he's good.
I do like the Morta pick. Not a hero we've seen a lot.
Yeah, where did this hero go?
I think it's still pretty strong in terms of the spells it can throw out in the team fights. Jab's going to pick up a freebie here with a little toss on.
Akashi just gives him the missile necessary for Tim's to claim the last hit. Akashi was thinking, I want to trade supports here because my silencer is dead. There's nothing I can do about that, but he just gets tossed away. And Tim's continues his, he already had his boots, so he's in a fine place. I mean, you said the only concern is you got kind of a greedier 4 position. He has boots and almost soul ring.
They played the lane really well. He's gotten a lot out of this bottom lane. The richest support out of the laning phase. That is exactly what you want on Tiny. 6-minute power rune, Mac, praying for it, is rewarded. A nice little arcane, too, for Lesh. With the 6 minutes, I mean, you're looking for that or haste.
You know what's funny? Tim's could have been there. But I think Jabs told him to stack. because they wanted to do this cheeky lane pull into stacking into one of the neutrals.
I mean, if the CEO tells you to stack, you got to do it.
You got to do it, but
no choice.
Now you just gave away an arcane rune to a Leshrac.
At least it's the 6-minute one. That's the less impactful, I think.
True.
You get arcane between the 12, 14, 16. That one can be pretty nasty. The 6-minute one is like, okay, you know, he only has 500 mana anyway.
And likely not making too many rotations this early on. It's kind of clunky to do that with Leshrac. Once you get your Blink Dagger, then you're just all in, jumping on top of people with Diabolic Edict popped and 100-0ing them rather easily.
Yeah, this Blink build's nasty. I mean, I feel at this point, almost everybody's played it against it at least once in their pub.
Yep.
And just had that enemy mid-Lesh go like 10-1. It's pretty spooky if he starts snowballing and he's just killing you off cooldown, getting power runes, refilling, staying out on the map. The challenge for Mac this game might be, where does he go with this early Blink? Like, who does he want to jump on? Because going into that Dusa lane can be very scary if the Dusa has high resources. If he gets chipped down and you just want to throw the Doom into him and run him down, definitely doable. But you can get turned around on in this game with TPs coming in from Void Spear plus Tiny. Armel can match you around the map, even if he doesn't have the power runes. This Void Spirit's a very hard hero to dive tier 1s into when he can respawn.
Yeah, which where I like the silencer in addition to this, right? Leshrac blinking in and being covered by a global silence.
It helps for sure.
Allows you to just get that full Diabolic Edict damage before any spells can be cast, before, say, the Dusa is able to get off the Stone Gaze.
But even like that, for a top, 3 heroes top, they have Doom available, can't do anything versus Dusa.
Managed to silence the Void Spirit. He throws out a spell immediately after that curse comes through. He got the haste rune. This is going to be nasty with that toss. They're both going to be so low. The astral step between the two. He's got to be careful to keep his distance. He's actually going to die to the Diabolic Edict, but the final damage still comes in. A 1-for-2 trade-off. Armel lives, and he even gets a refill on that bot.
I mean, that's just Armel boss. Knows he's going to outclick you there. He's used to doing it on ping. Now he gets to do it with nothing. And he spawns the perfect room. That's the haste that the Lesh wanted on the 6, you know?
Yes. Because that Diabolic Edict, as much damage as it does, that range is rather small. There's a reason why you need that Blink Dagger. The Dusa just gets run down, and that's the power of the Ursa versus the Dusa. A matchup
Super
that
nice.
You can build up. You can always cut through this Dusa. Sometimes it takes, you know, going in, and she pops Stone Gaze, and you try and hop away, and then you have to take a little while to re-blink in, but...
That's a super nice, clean rotation from Akashi. Didn't even have to use the Doom for that kill, so now you get to hold that pressure up here. Maybe force Boom to bring supports if they want to re-TP the Dusa top, and they will do that. But their kill threat up here is not great on this Doom. Kind of the downside of the Dusa in this lane. It's a really good Ursa game. I mean, this Ursa is... Well, they'll claim the creep, plus 100. This Ursa has very good core matchups in this game, very poor support matchups. Another reason that Boom want these 2 supports to get off to a good start. If the Pugna Tiny are strong, you can slow down Nemesis's advance in the team fights. But if your supports are weak, this Ursa Lesh are just going to chop your front line down. Looking for a little triangle invade with Armel. Working towards that vessel. Would love some urn charges. Would love another power rune. Raven coming in, though. Not the hero you want to fight right now.
A trio met by a quad of heroes from Nemesis. They will protect their own jungle, protect the top rune spawning. Is it going to be there, though? It will not. And amp damage for a Void Spirit.
Armel is cooking on the runes right now. This man is in the zone.
He's getting those fantasy points for you while he still can. Finish out this Ancient stack and you'll be rather close to the Blink Dagger. Then maybe we can start picking up the pace a little bit. I mean, you said the biggest issue for this squad is going to be initiation. How does that start?
The Lesh can start it. The issue, like I said, though, is jumping on some of these targets is not so fun. This is not the most straightforward Blink Lesh game I've seen. You jump on Void, he just dashes away. You jump on Dusa, there's turnaround potential. The Axe might be the best one, but he will have a fast Blade Mail in this game. And that's a nasty item for the Lesh to jump into as well, especially if it's just isolated one-on-one.
And if they at all see you coming, you might be blinking into a Nether Ward, right?
Absolutely. So the Blink can be really powerful, but this is a complicated game to find the windows for it. Especially when that Vessel gets online for Armel, who is caught up a little bit off that laning phase. Looking to put the amp damage to use top.
There really is only this like 5-minute window where Leshrac can start those fights. Then at some point the utility starts coming out and it's no longer a reliable initiation for you.
See how much Mac can get done with it. Blink arrives, 11 minutes, instantly smoked. He's going to run straight into Tim's, though.
Yeah, this wraparound didn't really work for Tim, seeing as Raven was so defensively postured as he was farming up neutrals. Nice toss away, though. We'll give him a little bit of time. Slowed down, but Lightning is going to try and feed himself to neutrals. Does not get it. Mac takes the aggro. Draws the Ancients onto himself and claims the last hit.
Oh, there's kill number 1 with the blink.
Yeah, I guess we'll call that a blink kill.
Not the cleanest, but you take it. This also dodged that amp damage on the Void Spirit. Pretty valuable. That was a scary rune out on the map. Another power rune spawns. It's regen for Mac. He will finally win that battle. And that is a good rune for him.
We do have level 6 on the silencer off of that kill. A little bit of mid-action, so Mac wants to make another play. They can protect it. Jing, he's going to find Jackie out here. Jack Boys is farming some of these neutrals behind the tower. They'll take the tower itself. They still have their own safe lane tower up, but Armel is going to rotate over and make sure they're able to have some equality on the map.
Akashi had to bail out of his bottom lane. Too much pressure down here. You don't even have Battle Fury done on the Earth, so you're not going to stand there and fight. Versus all this early spell power. Nowhere really great for him to go on the map right now, but he's in a good position off that lane, so can't complain too much.
This does mean, though, Jabs is going to have a super fast phase Blade Mail Blink.
He has not had a lot of pressure going into him for how much the Tiny's been off the lane. And that'll be a scary timing for Nemesis to deal with. Blink Blade Mail Axe plus that Vessel Void Spirit. That sounds tough for the Lesh to fight into. Maybe your game plan is just farm up a little bit more. Wait for some of the second item timings between the Doom and your Leshrac here. Take a fight that can lead into some mid-game Roshans for the Ursa. I expect Boom to make an instant play with that Axe Blink, and I'm looking towards that mid-tier 1. Should have it here in the next minute or so. You will have another Wisdom Shrine pop. You'll have all the supports on the, all the levels on the supports you need. You make a quick smoke into mid. If you can ever jump Silencer or Lesh in this game, you should have the damage to finish them off. Just roll the fight after that with some deuce of support. So Nemesis really need to be careful about who they show mid and who's getting jumped in this game.
Both teams are setting up for power runes, but Nemesis keep losing the coin flip.
Yeah, they have not won a lot.
Like, they're bringing the resources to protect one side, and they just keep on missing. Armel this time gets an invis rune.
Needs the vessel charge, though. This is really important for him.
Yeah.
Needs a kill to happen here or that smoke gank to come through so you get some skirmish going. There's your Axe Blink as well. This is Boom's time to strike right now. Very strong around the map. Won another power rune. Not really missing anything. I mean, yeah, you would use a tiny blink here, but opted to go the Solar Crest route. So no quick initiation for Tims in this game. Wants to translate it into more utility.
What do you think about Helmadam and Midas? It's a Doom. He's got Devil's Bargain. Like, obviously he can sell the Midas and pick up other items, but let me just say, the power spike difference between the two offlaners here couldn't be different.
Well, you know, they're both carry players at heart.
I guess so, yeah.
I'm sure Raven.
Whoa, they're coming through the gate. Wait, they're coming to you. Oh, Raven, he didn't recognize what was happening there. Clicks on the gate, but it was already being channeled from the other side. The Global Silence will protect them here as both teams kind of panic in the situation.
What was that? That was interesting.
Oh, no. Leshrac, Mac tries to kill a Pugna, and it goes terribly wrong for him.
Ooh.
Yeah, John, well, I mean, that's a worthy tip right there. Big man Mac tries to step in paint. It does not go well for him at all.
He's going to lose his tier 1 off the back of it as well.
Yeah.
John Well putting in work around this mid lane, and that is an easy cleanup for Jackie. Well, that smoke move kind of failed, but they ended up getting the objective they wanted out of the sequence. Gifted to him. Boom just getting more out of the map right now.
Well played.
And this Dusa is starting to pull ahead. That's the scary part here. Yeah, maybe your Axe and Void Spirit aren't finding some crazy early teamfight momentum, but this Dusa is having a perfect game right now outside of that one dead top. Just been untouched, and it has such good matchups here.
Out of curiosity, going into this series, which team did you think looked better? Good call. Jabs just bursted down, man. He couldn't even get off the culling blade. It was such fast damage. Caught him midway through his Fury swipes.
That's where you alt click his code of blood stacks and go, what were you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Too much damage for his own good.
The overpower makes short work of the Ursa, and that'll delay his blink dagger.
I mean, to answer your question, I felt like Nemesis honestly looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I think they looked a little better than Moon, but
And that was the report that I heard from like teams.
Sure.
Teams were kind of saying like, okay, Nemesis is actually kind of legit.
they took some games and had very close games towards winning some series. So you can argue maybe they're not the worst 0-3 team that could exist right now.
Yeah, and I think it's funny. It's just they're in an interregional matchup. Like,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
everything kind of goes out the window when you're matched up against somebody from a team from your own region. I mean, you've been in a number of those North American derbies.
I mean, you can be a premier team, but you can lose to some straight trash from your own region. That's just a law of Dota. Everything goes out the window. You know, teams will just drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. That's a tough ask.
There's that Devil's Bargain into play. Raven sells his Midas for an early pipe pickup. So we'll see if they actually try and make a move with this pipe.
Solid pipe game in the early portion.
In the early portion, yeah.
I don't think it's scaling crazy here or anything, but
which for me says like
Strong right now.
you really want to fight for the next 10 minutes.
yeah, if I'm going pipe here on the Doom off the bargain, I want to get some team fight going. Otherwise, you're not gearing up for a late game with pipe here. Got to have some extra packet. I was just about to say packet loss. You got to have a little packet loss in a C match, you know. Just Valve just wanted them to feel like they're at home, you know.
I mean, that's probably right at home. You're talking about packet loss to Australia's server.
That's true, yeah.
4,000 net worth lead for Boom, as mostly coming from
The
this
Dusa.
success of, I would say it's the success of the offlane. It's coming from the net worth difference from the Dusa, but that's because the Ursa is so shut down because the offlane went so well for Boom.
Double melee did pretty damn good.
It went disgustingly well for them considering
But
their
you know,
matchup against an Ursa silencer.
you have 2K on this Dusa relative to the carry, and the other 2K is kind of coming from the two supports relative to Nemesis supports right now.
Yep.
They just got way more off that map. That Pugna just got to sit mid forever, and then you get the kill in the Lesh of the tower. Now he's mega farmed. Full 4-staff plus cloak already done. This Pugna's going to be a beast. He's going to have Force Glimmer plus level 12 here very shortly. Pretty insane position for a first pick support hero that has been owning the tournament.
Yeah. This hero is kind of out of control as a support if you give it that extra net worth.
At least Nemesis have some direct answers to it. You have Doom with some anti-healing. You have some jump. You have Silencer to counteract him on the backline, and you have another silence AoE-wise with the Muerta. Like, in theory, you did draft to deal with the Pugna, so even if he's very farmed, could still pose some problems to Johnwell, but
Do they
again,
have
that has to
anti-heal?
come in the team fight.
Oh, you mean Doom?
Yeah,
right,
they have
right,
Doom.
right. Yeah. I was looking for any sort of spirit vessel or something.
He's getting greedy with the
Nemesis
blast.
trying to sandwich. And a very successful move, at least the start. Their easy kill on a Johnwell. Can they catch Armel, though? Raven. He can get off the Doom if he really wants to, and he's going to try for it.
This is not enough damage on its own. He needs
Yeah,
a little more.
the chase is going to go way too far. The call on it, too. He just pulls up the Ursa again. Oh, he thought he was going to be able to get there to help get the kill on the Void Spirit, but simply too greedy from Nemesis. Tried way too hard to get that pickup, and Raven has just let the rest of the team off a cliff.
That was one of those Dooms, the second it went out, you knew it was not going to end well. It was just
man.
stretching way too far, especially with utility already out on the Pugna. Like, you can bail heroes out of this Doom early. You need Lesh in those kind of fights. Like, that's where the damage is going to come from in a chase scenario like that. Overreach from Nemesis. They're going to pay a massive price around the map. Another haste rune for Armel to add a little insult to injury. Pick up one more for his trouble and add to his vessel charges.
I mean, Jink doing a very admirable job of trying to delay his death, but it is inevitable. And look at that, boom. 2030, time to finish up Tormentor with this fresh butterfly.
Jackie is so bad in this game. Even got some stacks for your axe. I mean, these calls from Jabs have been on point. He has caught the overpowered Ursa twice now.
Yes.
And you just insta-burst yourself. This matchup gets better for Ursa, but the early game has been miserable for Akashi. You just can't enter these fights. And again, you point towards which of these cores do you want in these engagements with the Doom. You'd rather have the Lesh there than the Ursa in this early game. Or at least the Ursa coming in way later.
Oh, they're going to get here. They can't stop him from taking the Wisdom Shrine, but Jabs will make sure that Raven dies a second time in the last minute.
That is also back-to-back deaths after that pipe purchase.
Yeah,
really
you're
hurting your
getting no
itemization
value
there.
out of this early team fight item pickup.
Feels like Nemesis are just unsure of where to strike right now, and that is where I go to the draft. Who is the clear initiator in this lineup? Who wants to go in first and start the action? Unless your Lesh Blink just snowballed out of control, which was not the case, you're stuck in a game like this, where it's just Jabs and Tims running around the map, making moves, starting easy kills, and all you can do is farm and try and get to some later scaling items here.
And that's really awkward because I feel like that style can work of counter initiation, but they do not have a clear save, right? Axe makes that jump. They can kind of respond with the global or respond with the calling or a dead shot or something, but they don't have that something that guarantees the hero that gets jumped is going to live.
There's a jump. That's a big find.
Yeah, they didn't even necessarily have to use the global sounds there. Pops it towards the end to ensure it. Oh, no, not again. Oh! Jabs is relentless, man. He just watched the 5-man squad of Nemesis kill his Void Spirit, and he didn't give a damn. He wants that Ursa, and he wants him dead.
He has had his number. He has punched it 3 times now. That is a lot of stacks early on, getting these chops. Extra armor will go a long way in this game. It's such an early BKB, too.
Early BKB, now he's going to go back for the shard with the maxed out battle hunger he has and the extra armor stacks.
Straight scaling, man. This is a great position on this hero. You're about to put an Aegis straight onto your Adusa. And it was all such a good opening for Nemesis. They finally get that silence connection onto this Void Spirit, who's been really annoying around those power runes, only to end up instant losing your Ursa into Aegis on Medusa. Nightmare scenario.
That should have been an opening for them to take the first Roche.
Yep. Like, you have the Ursa lineup. Those big core kills around the river should open up this objective. Instead, you end up paying a massive price. That Scotty is coming out fast here.
Yeah, he's already got one of the components.
And that is an incredible power spike for Boom if they get there with this Aegis intact. You cannot fight that at Nemesis. You have to split push. You have to find some pickoffs around the map. You have to find a way to slow this game, stall it out right now. And Boom are gearing up for the high ground. You're going to have Solar Crest plus extra utility on the Tiny. He did not go the initiation route. Sucks to try and find stuff around the map. Great if you're just balling up behind the Dusa and pushing objectives. So it'll pay off here if you can force high ground early.
I think Nemesis lineup is also not that good at split pushing at this point, right? It's like Doom, Ursa, Lesh.
They don't pressure towers very well. You do it a little bit, but rather just be killing people. And if Boom group, you're not going to find the pickoffs here.
The question is, will Boom go for that group, go for that high ground push in this Aegis timing? They're certainly taking out all the tier 2s early, but there's no more tier 2s left. Are you willing to dare a high ground push? They're already setting up for it. Jabs with the Glimmer, looking for the pickoff that would make it a lot easier for them.
I think you wait Dusa Scotty here. That's kind of your green light. He's so close.
Yeah, there's no reason not to wait for that Scotty at this point.
But I would be very tempted to force high ground. Kind of tricky with first Roche. You don't get these banners, but absolutely doable when you have a hero like this and you have Pugna for some sustain. Dusa doesn't necessarily need the sustain, but throw it on to somebody else here. And this is not an easy Aegis for Nemesis to fight. Their lineup does not deal well with heroes having 2 lives. They got baited.
Oh, baited by an illusion. And the Scotty, it's on its way with a Siege Wagon push.
Oh, yeah.
This really couldn't be more ideal for Boom.
This timing is way too fast for Nemesis to deal with.
Decrepify to help protect the wave. Siege Wagon
for the
stays
flank.
up. The tier 3 is already gone. The flank is coming in with the smoke. Jabs, they're going to try and jump onto him. Do make the jump, but he's already got off the BKB. They doom him as well.
He's dead.
They throw everything they have to be able to take out this Axe. But is it going to be worth it for them? They jump in, but can they get out? Mac is going to be caught by Armel, and with the Manta, quickly switches them off, and Jackie is still untouched in the middle of this. So even if you could get back to your base, what is going to be left of your base when Jackie is done with it?
Did not get enough off that flank. You needed at least 2 or 3 heroes to convert it into a teamfight win. This Dusa is an absolute beast.
Straight to another one. One lane of barracks down at 26 minutes. The Jack boys want some more.
You just have to watch it happen. You don't have Doom. You can't really take fights on the back end. I mean, you can look for a quick support kill. It's tough. These are tanky supports to bring down.
Fresh item pickup is Shivas for the Doom. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference, but we'll see. Ursa jumped onto an illusion. They actually thought that the real Dusa was pushed forward like that? I don't even understand. Now the Gorgon's Grass goes out, catching Raven. Raven with his fresh Shiva's just going to be chopped down. A toss forward of the Dusa into the rest of the team. Jack Boys is actually going to be losing his first life here.
Is he?
Healed up. Pugna actually keeps him alive, so...
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
I guess...
Shot missed too. I mean, he doesn't even care if he goes down here. A minute left on this Aegis. Whatever, that's just a free refill.
Yeah, force Nemesis to make another initiation.
In fact, I think you'd rather have this Aegis go down.
Outside of the base.
Yeah, then get caught in a fight with it expiring or some weird situation. You don't get the full mana refill. He's just too powerful for his own good.
Kinda is. But it makes me think that Nemesis, the only way out of this situation is to smoke out and try and hit him while the Aegis expires, but they are not in a position to do so.
Marvel at the spectacle.
I mean, is there anything coming in for Nemesis? Trying to get a Sight device on Mac? That's so far out. Raven can sell his Midas, but he really won't have that much for an important item. Basher on Akashi.
There's really not much. The bash on the Ursa is going to be the biggest one because maybe you can just jump this Pugna and burst him down with a clutch bash. It'll open up the fight a lot if you can find John Well in the back end.
He is slippery. Tumbler
Yeah,
Toy,
an
an Aether Lens, and a Glimmer Cape. He's not an easy
But
grab.
that is your recipe to winning a team fight. You jump the Pugna, take him down, and you doom either Void Speed or Axe. And if you can take 2 of those 3 out of the fight, you have a window to kind of kite this Dusa and kill the rest. It's got to be very quick, though. You have a solid angle here with your cores. And you can also try and all in this Dusa. That is a risky gamble.
I mean, he already popped the Diabolic Edict. I guess maybe got tagged by the Nether Ward, so he wasn't able to make the blink play. I don't know what that blink play was.
I mean, you gotta go. You gotta do something.
I mean, you certainly just can't be giving up Megas before the 30-minute mark.
Without a fight, too.
Somebody's got to make the call. Akashi, he makes the jump forward. Global Sound's going to be used. Doom, they go for the play
Got
of
the ult
all-laning
off.
the Dusa. They have not done enough, and the Ursa is gone. Jabs will catch him one more time to end this game, and a Culling Blade on the way out to finish up the Leshrac, and Nemesis, they call it. Sure, there was some lag, but there's just not enough lag in the world to stop what has just happened inside of your base.
I mean, Dusa just plays through it anyway. This hero just stands there, tanks everything,
Yeah.
kills everything. It was a very solid pick. Like, Nemesis don't have good answers to the Dusa timing. They either needed to find a way to slow this Deuce down in the laning phase with multiple kills, some sort of, you know, chaos Dota, super fast ramping